Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien, sitting in for Paul Harvey this afternoon. Stand by for a special commentary. Well, Americans, if Mr. Harvey was alive today, he would do a commentary to remind you of who you are, which you seem to have forgotten. He tried awful hard to remind you every time he did the rest of the story and his news reports. But you guys probably, with watermelons in your brains, it went on one side, through the watermelon, and out the other. So let me give you a commentary here. About 75 years ago, there was a pact done between you citizens and the communications era at that time, ABC, NBC, CBS, with Mr. Signoff, who controlled basically most of it. There was only 3 major networks for television and radio stations. And since they were over the air, there was a pact made that it would be free to all Americans because it would have sponsors. And the original shows, like you guys who still around remember Peyton Place, yeah, right, and General Hospital later on there, but they both, Peyton Place I think was, and if I got it wrong, I'm sorry because I wasn't around at that time, but sponsored by Palmolive, wasn't he? Yeah, I think so. Peyton Place. Palmolive soap in there. In around late 50s, early 60s, this got changed a bit. It still was the same pact that they put with you that it would be free because it's over the air because we're doing our commercials. But everybody had the right to put their products on television programs. And thus became the commercial era in television and or radio. But more specifically television, because radio was on the way down, television was picking up, and radio was losing influence over there. The radio programs became television programs, like Charlie McCarthy, The Lone Ranger. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah. The Shadow Knows. And then you had the programs that came in the 50s. Richard Diamond, P.I. Remember that? Yeah. So all through the 50s and 60s, you had sponsorships. Mind you that beer wasn't exactly a good sponsor, but cigarettes, they became a big hit, especially Marlboro with the Marlboro Man, especially in the 1960s. And the programs that came in the 60s, I mean, wow. You had all kinds of programs in the 60s. You had programs that didn't last long but are still around, and big enterprise today, Star Trek. Yeah. And Hawaii Five-0 to a lesser extent there. But those were 60s programs that we still see today. Different cast members, 60 years later, and we still got the programs on. But by 1969, the government started getting involved in here, and it outlawed cigarettes because cigarette is harmful to your health by the Surgeon General 1964. Yeah. So, in 1971, cigarettes were not allowed to advertise on television. The demise of the Marlboro Man. And he was around in a lot of the westerns like Hey Chaparral and Bonanza before that, and don't forget the Big Valley. Yeah. The Virginian. Oh yeah, that was a good one too, right? Yeah. And who can forget Rawhide with Mr. Dirty Harry? Yeah. But by 1971, that was that. So you had just regular run-of-the-mill soaps, and Campbell's soup became a standard there in the mid-70s. Coke and Pepsi had a big war, and, Pepsi lost a war because Coke put the We Are the World thing there, and Pepsi, well, they had that commercial with Mr. Michael Jackson where everything went wrong and he was on fire. He was never the same after that. But anyway, that's what happened. And in the mid-70s, another player came in. Cable. Remember HBO, Cinemax, and the movie channel? And they were on from 5 p.m. to 11. But you had to pay. And you had to get a local cable company in your area. And remember the boxes? I mean, the boxes to change over to channels. Or you had the box, and you had that big wire that came through that box, and you had to change that channel. They make remotes look nice today, don't they? Yes. But today, what do you have? You're paying like crazy for not only cable, which is on the way out. Now you got streaming programs like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and a lot of pluses. CNN tried the CNN Plus, but they kicked the bucket, huh? But all the Star Trek is streaming. The new Star Trek is streaming on Paramount Plus. And you remember when Paramount tried to get their own network back to UPN, and they had Voyager to start with? Boy, that was a flop. It hurt both the Star Trek franchise and Paramount with that kind of deal. But anyway, Americans, this is what I'm trying to say. Now you pay for TV, you pay for premium. Your cable's what, $100 and some a month now, and then you got these. You got Sling TV and all these other TVs and premiums and that. My TV has Roku. Tubi's nice because I can see the old things and I don't have to pay for it. But then again, I have it on my TV. You know how they make their money? Well, they got to have advertisements on Tubi. They're doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't know how much they pay to do that, how Tubi works, but they got advertisements on there. Cable companies have advertisement too, but you still pay. So it's not free, is it, Americans? Nothing is free in this world. Not even your freedom is it free. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to listen to me before you lose your country in less than 2 years. And you're not listening at all. Will you? Hell no. But this is one thing that I tried to explain to you. TV is not free anymore. They violated the oath that they made with you back in the late 1940s, early 1950s. The TV for the American people should be free and over the air. So if they violate one oath like that, why can't they violate everything? This is your favorite alien saying, you think about it. Good day.